Hello and thank you for visiting Ideas Consulting Group and thank you for being with us during these difficult times of the pandemic.
It's a pleasure, Deepak.
Today we are going to start a new series which we are calling Clients Speak, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Abhijit Banerjee, Founder Director Retail Scan. To introduce Retail Scan, let me just name out few clients who are clients of Retail Scan and avail of their services. Hindustan Unilever, ITC, Godrej Consumer Product, Reckitt's, Himalaya Drug Company, Johnson and Johnson, to name a few. Enviable list, isn't it? What does Retail Scan do? Retail Scan for all these FMCG companies offers three vital services. First and foremost, a lot of money is spent in BTL advertising through communication at the retailer with the consumer. All the displays that you can think of. The merchandiser fixes the display, but who reports whether everything is as per desire, as planned or not? Retail Scan does. You may have focus on certain SKUs which are critical, but how do you ensure that there is a continuous reporting right from the ground regarding the availability of these critical resources, SKUs? Third, you want to incentivize the retailer and motivate him so that he or she supports your brand and can actually play a very important role in replacing your competitor with your brand. But more often than not, the incentive announced and the incentive received, there is a huge gap, either in terms of time, amount, everything. Retail Scan has a unique tool called Easy Pay app, through which it not only has the KYC and bank details of over 2 lakh leading retailers across the country, but it can ensure that your retailer's incentive is passed on at a click of a button directly to the bank account of the retailers, and more importantly, by being compliant as per the GST norms prescribed by the government of India. So how has Retail Scan been featuring since the start of the pandemic? Let me ask this question to Abhijit. Abhijit.
Uh, well, Deepak, that's a interesting question, and I think COVID-19, has, uh, or rather, let me put it, we have learned and unlearned a lot of things. There is always a process of learning and unlearning, as we, say in management terms. But I think COVID-19 has actually told us, rather taught us, very, very vividly. Uh, if you want to, if I have to kind of articulate the impact, which COVID-19 has had, well, fortunately, the impact of the COVID on the consumer goods sector in India has not been as harsh or as pronounced, as it has been with other sectors like a travel or hospitality, And since most of our clients happen to be in the FMCG and FMCG space, so yes, that way I think God has been kind, and we are, we have been able to withstand the storm, so to say. But having said that, yes, the national lockdown last year, and again, due to the second wave this year, we did have an adverse impact on our top line. And as you know, as you rightly said, retail stores are central, to the business model of Retail Scan. And the closure of the stores, because the stores were closed, right, for a good part of the year last year as well as this year. And that meant, some of our core activities like store audits being halted. So that, of course, I think had a big impact. On the people front, I think engaging on a continuous basis, with the employees, and that we're a young company, so to say, average age in the company is around 26, 27. So addressing their expectations, and at the same time clearing their apprehensions became a very big reality, because it's the first time this bunch of young people, they were kind of facing a situation like a work from home. What is work from home? How do we do that? How do we monitor productivity? It's very easy to come to an office and have a meeting, but how do you translate that into a home environment with a company like ours, which is not as big as the clients which we work with? So that became a very big reality. Well, I'm glad to actually say that the core team continued their belief in the values that we stand for as an organization, and I think they gave their best to overcome those challenges. Yep.
In fact, why young people? Even young people like me, as you can see in the picture, you're exposed to the work from. Okay, Abhijit,
That's
I mean, we have, for example, picked up 2, 3 lessons which we are like going to apply for the rest of our business career. What are the lessons that you have picked up for retail scan which you're going to implement? And these lessons have been triggered by the COVID and the pandemic and lockdown, which I think it will be beneficial for whoever is watching this video to learn, and if they find it useful, apply it for themselves.
Well, good question. I think I like to keep it as generic as possible. I mean, I think the learnings have, at a leadership level, the learnings are more or less similar. Uh, First one, I think I would like to say adaptability. I think one thing which we have learned is adaptability is the key. As an organization, you need to adapt. Now, well, I think this has been a mantra for every management guru for the last 50 years. But again, COVID-19 has actually showed it that how critical it is to be adaptable to the changing business environment. Just to give an example, moving to a work from home model overnight, last year when it was announced, and I think the 23rd of March or something like that, that meant a significant realignment in terms of people, process, as well as IT infrastructure, and a very quick one at that. And I think we have to be, extremely, quick in adapting. So that is one thing which is definitely a learning which we're going to, carry with us. Well, service delivery models, the way we actually service our clients, that again needed to be tweaked, to meet the business needs. If I can give an example to illustrate that, the project management team, they had to create and implement a eKYC model, because we do a lot of KYC. Now, why was this required? Because we were not able to reach up to the stores physically. So we had to come up with something, a solution with which we can tweak the business model, but still be able to meet the business needs. So that's something, again, service delivery model and tweaking it and, changing it quickly is something which is a very key learning. And, well, I'm an eternal optimist, as you know. So I think, personally speaking, in a crisis situation, it has taught me one thing, that you can look at life in crisis situation in two ways. Either you can view it as a threat, or you can view it as an opportunity. And it is entirely up to you, how you want to see it. If you keep it seeing as a threat, it will just tie you down further and further. But if you see it as an opportunity, I think it will help to keep you pushing, for more. I think, personally speaking, that's something which is, a learning which has been there for me, which I wanted to share with you.
Thank you, Abhijit. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we are delighted to be a part of your extended team in terms of supporting you in your marketing efforts. And we also have learned in this engagement and association that we have been having in roughly a year or so that we are together. And I look forward to many more success stories together as we go forward in this journey. Thank you so much. And definitely we'll get to speak some other time on some other topic. All the best. Take
Thank
care.
you so much. Thank you so much, Deepak. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for inviting.